All right, well, today is the day for an FTP test. So for a lot of people out there, just saying the words FTP test probably tripped a little terror response in your brain. I know it kind of does for me. But if you haven't done that or you're not familiar with it, FTP is short for functional threshold power. And it's kind of like, obviously there's no one metric that can really sort of measure the full extent of your fitness and power, but to the extent that there is one for riding a bike, it's that. And it's meant to be a measure of how many watts you could sort of theoretically sustain for a maximum effort over the course of a full hour. And there are a number of different ways to measure that. There's different types of tests. Like I said, I've been working with a coach, Noah, for a while now, and so I've been doing one of these about every month, and it just gives you a good way to kind of measure your progress. Is your FTP going up? That's obviously what you want it to do. I think my 20-minute effort today is going to be at 250 watts or something like that. So if I'm able to complete the test successfully, then my FTP will be some percentage of that. I don't actually know exactly what it is off the top of my head, but we will find out together. So with FTP tests, I am always a little nervous. I've completed all of them successfully in the past, but it is not easy or fun. The 5-minute really hard effort that was the most brutal part the last time I did it. So I'm really not looking forward to that in particular, but the 20-minute one is not easy either. I should be in a decent place. I didn't get great sleep last night, and I've been kind of having an allergic thing going on, so that's not ideal, but we did take kind of an easier week with my training coming up to this, had a couple days that were just recovery rides, no days that were really all that intense this past week. So should be in a decent place to do well on this. So now I've just got to start getting ready, getting the kit on, get the hydration going, get the fuel going, because I'm going to need to take in a little bit of sugar in the middle of the test to be able to perform at my best. And then we'll see what I can do. So you're coming along for the ride with me. And I've got a GoPro over here. I'll be recording some of it on that as well. So let's do it. Definitely want a towel ready. All right, so a couple of things I'm going to be trying to focus on intentionally today, trying to work on sort of the mental side of it. Positive self-talk is a thing that can actually help. There's research showing that, so I'm going to try to not talk to the camera too much during this test, except during the rest periods, but you may hear me talking to myself. All right, so we are into the FTP test. This is the warm-ups. As you can see, I'm just warming up. It's pretty straightforward. And you will see me talking to the camera a little bit in this video. I was hoping to use the audio from the actual test itself, so I was explaining some things to the camera, but the audio is just too terrible with the fan on, the filter on, you got the pedaling noise, you got the Zwift noise. It just sounds like garbage. Nobody wants to listen to it, so I'm going to walk it through instead. Getting through the warm-up here, and there's a little bit of sort of like leg openers at the end, so you can see I'm getting into that. Just a little bit of an effort sort of at the end of the warm-up to get you ready for what is to come. And so now you can see what I'm doing is focusing on breathing and trying to get my heart rate down. This is the rest period between the warm-up and the first effort, which is a 5-minute really hard effort. And so I'm just trying to breathe and get my heart rate like as low as possible. Ideally, I want to get it below 140. But now, as you can see that big red gate, that's the gate of doom in Zwift. We are headed into the 5-minute hard effort. And so for me, I honestly don't remember exactly what the wattage was for this, but it hurts. It feels okay at first. You can see I'm doing all right, but it really starts to get to you as you get further into it. So yeah, you can see the cord is right in the way of the number there, but this is about 325 is what I'm trying to maintain for this 5-minute effort. And there's the end of it, and honestly, to me, I think that is the worst part of the test. Obviously, I cut out a lot of this, but if you've ever tried to maintain for you a very high effort for 5 minutes, it really takes it out of you.
So now I have 20 minutes to recover before the main part of the test, which is a 20-minute effort at a lower level. That's not at your FTP. It's at a number that's sort of like you're trying to target it at a level that's a little bit higher than what your FTP would be, and then ultimately your FTP is a percentage of that, assuming that you can maintain that power for 20 minutes.
My heart rate was up at 194.
Yeah, so my heart rate really spiked during that hard effort, but now I've got this nice 20-minute rest period.
I feel like e-bikes are the most surefire way to get people riled up on the internet.
So yeah, just watching some Sid and Mackie. You're gonna have something to get you through some of this stuff, so you'll see I put on some music later. Honestly, part of what got me through this test was doing the talking to the camera and just kind of explaining. I like to have something to distract my mind from the thing that I'm doing when the thing that I'm doing is terrible. And I don't think that anybody thinks that FTP tests are fun. So yeah. So you'll see here, the light just went out. One of the lights just went out in the basement. But what I'm doing is putting the towel over the Zwift interface that tells me how much time I have left. And that's because for me, for like a 20-minute effort, for the 20-minute effort that I'm about to have to give here, you can see the gate coming up in the Zwift interface there. That's long enough that I just don't want to think about it. I don't want to think about how much time I have left, and I don't want to be able to see how much time I have left. So instead, I'm just going to put on some music, and I'm going to try to zone out.
Here we go. You got this. You got this.
A little positive self-talk. And a little dancing, such as it is.
You got this. Just a feeling. Push through it. Push through it. Just sensations.
In another life, another guy. No, feel like I do, but I get this one. I get this one. Why don't you begin and take off with it?
So yeah, just cruising along. I think the power here was about 250 or 260. Yeah, it looks like 250 is what I was trying to maintain. So nothing crazy, but you know, for me, over 20 minutes, that is a pretty hard effort. As you can see, I'm really starting to feel it here. It's starting to catch up with me. Getting closer to the end. Just concentrating on putting the power down and making it to the end of that 20 minutes. Although I don't know how much time I have left because I covered up the screen. I did take the towel off when I felt like I was probably getting close to the end because you want to be able to see that end coming and just know that you can push through it. So yeah, popped it off, and as you can see, at 250 watts, just trying my best to put the power down as hard as I can. Cruising around this corner here, and there's the gate that marks the end of the last effort. So now it's all just a nice cool down, and I can relax and breathe and be done with the FTP test.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And there we go. Finished. Another FTP test in the bag. Oh yeah. So, at least according to Zwift, that's a 3-watt FTP increase, which is not big, but that's the previous one was set about a month ago, so I think that's actually pretty good for a month of training. So overall, pretty satisfied with the FTP results. Obviously, in an ideal world, you'd love to be like, oh, my FTP went up by 50 points, but it's not how it works, especially if you're measuring it month over month. Oh, and I didn't go in, totally 100%. I wish I'd gotten better sleep last night. I wish I had a nose I could breathe through at the moment, but all things considered, felt like a good, strong effort. FTP went up. And that's what's most important. I don't know what's going on upstairs, but anyway, got a lot of time between now and the big A race, CBCC this summer, so I'm going to keep pushing that number up. keep training, and yeah, I'll see you in the next check-in. Peace.